Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. When you think of Led Zeppelin, what comes to mind? Stairway to Heaven, right? Or maybe Whole Lotta Love, Black Dog, Rock and Roll. These are legendary Mount Rushmore-level tracks that defined a generation and shaped rock music forever. But here's the thing about Zeppelin. They were so much more than their greatest hits. They were an album band, through and through. For every radio anthem, there are 3 or 4 hidden gems tucked away on their records. Tracks that showcase their incredible versatility, experimental spirit, and raw musical genius. Today, we're going beyond the hits. We're diving deep into the Zeppelin catalog to uncover the deep cuts, the songs that the true fans cherish. These are the tracks that reveal the full picture of the greatest rock and roll band of all time. So grab your headphones, turn it up, and get ready for some deep-cut revelations. Let's start our journey with Led Zeppelin's explosive 1969 debut. While's Good Times, Bad Times, and Dazed and Confused rightly get a ton of attention. There's a smoldering blues track on side 2 that deserves just as much love. How Many More Times? This isn't just a song, it's an 8.5-minute epic. It's a masterclass in tension and release. The track starts with that iconic slinky bass line from John Paul Jones, a groove so hypnotic you can't help but be pulled in. Then Jimmy Page's guitar comes in, prowling and menacing. And Robert Plant? His vocals are a force of nature, swinging from a desperate plea to a full-throated roar. What makes this song so special is the midsection. The band breaks it all down into a psychedelic, almost free jazz improvisation. Page pulls out a violin bow and coaxes unearthly sounds from his guitar, while John Bonham's drumming is a whirlwind of controlled chaos. It's dark, it's theatrical, and it's a stunning showcase of the band's improvisational chemistry right from the very beginning. It is the sound of 4 musicians pushing the boundaries of the blues into something entirely new and exhilarating. Next up, let's jump to 1970 and the seismic shift that was Led Zeppelin III. This album famously confused some critics and fans at the time. After the heavy blues rock assault of their first 2 albums, they opened with the bright acoustic strum of Immigrant Song, sure, but the record was dominated by folk and acoustic textures. While Immigrant Song is a classic, the real heart of this album's acoustic side is found in a track called That's the Way. This song is pure beauty. It's the sound of the band relaxing at Bron-Yr Aur, a remote cottage in Wales, and letting their pastoral surroundings seep into the music. Page's open-tuned acoustic guitar is gentle and shimmering, and Plant's lyrics are introspective and surprisingly tender, reflecting on friendship and the passage of time. John Paul Jones adds a delicate mandolin part that weaves through the melody perfectly. It's a world away from the thunder of Whole Lotta Love, and it proved that Zeppelin had a sensitivity and a lyrical depth that many of their hard rock peers lacked. That's the Way is a moment of quiet reflection, a beautiful folk song that demonstrates their incredible range. Okay, it is impossible to talk about deep cuts without visiting the hallowed ground of their untitled 4th album, commonly known as Led Zeppelin The Force. Yes, it has Stairway, Black Dog, and Rock and Roll, but it also has The Battle of Evermore. This song is pure, unadulterated fantasy folk. It's as if the band mainlined a copy of The Lord of the Rings and channeled it directly into a song. What makes it so unique is the instrumentation. It's built around Jimmy Page's hypnotic mandolin riff, an instrument he was just learning at the time. And for the first and only time on a Zeppelin studio track, they brought in an outside vocalist, the incredible Sandy Denny from the folk rock band Fairport Convention. Her ethereal voice intertwines with Robert Plant's, creating this magical call-and-response narrative between a queen and her townsfolk. They're painting a picture of a mythical battle, with ring-wraiths and dark lords. It's dramatic, it's mystical, and it's a testament to their willingness to experiment and push their sound into completely uncharted territory. It's a transportive piece of music that takes you to another world. Let's move on to the sprawling double album, 1975's Physical Graffiti. This record is a treasure trove of deep cuts, an absolute feast of different styles and sounds. You could pick almost any track, but today, I want to focus on a song that perfectly encapsulates the band's majestic, epic side, 10 Years Gone. This song is simply breathtaking. It's one of Jimmy Page's most complex and beautiful compositions, featuring an orchestra of layered guitars. There are acoustic tracks, clean electric lines, and soaring, overdriven lead parts, all weaving together to create this rich, symphonic tapestry of sound. The song structure itself is unconventional, moving through different sections with a grace and power that's just awe-inspiring. Lyrically, it's one of Robert Plant's most personal and poignant moments. He's reflecting on a past love, a choice he had to make between his relationship and his music a decade earlier. You can hear the bittersweet nostalgia and a touch of melancholy in his voice. It's a mature, reflective song that shows a band at the absolute peak of its creative powers, capable of creating music that was not just powerful, but also deeply emotional and incredibly sophisticated. Now for a track that showcases Zeppelin's funkier, groovier side. Let's head back to 1973 and the album Houses of the Holy Four, The Crunge. This song is just pure fun. It's a tribute to the godfather of soul, James Brown, and it's driven by one of the tightest and funkiest rhythm sections in rock history. John Bonham's drumming is just insane here. The beat is complex, syncopated, and impossibly groovy. He's playing in a 9/8 time signature, but it never feels academic or forced. It just swings. And John Paul Jones lays down a bass line that is pure funk, locking in with Bonham perfectly. Over the top, Page adds these sharp percussive guitar stabs, and Plant delivers a playful, almost stream-of-consciousness vocal, searching for the bridge to the song. The whole thing is a testament to their incredible musicianship and their ability to absorb influences from funk and soul and make them uniquely their own. The Crunge is a party on a record, a moment of joyful, infectious groove that proves Zeppelin could make you dance just as easily as they could make you headbang. It is a side of the band that is often overlooked, but is absolutely essential to their sound. Finally, let's look at a song from their later period, from the often underrated 1979 album In Through the Outdoor. This album was largely driven by Robert Plant and John Paul Jones, as Page and Bonham were dealing with personal issues. As a result, it's a very different sounding Zeppelin record, with more keyboards and synthesizers. A standout track that perfectly captures this evolution is Carousel Ambra. This is a 10.5-minute synthesizer-driven progressive rock odyssey. It's a 3-part suite that feels like a journey. The first section is an up-tempo, almost frantic synth rocker driven by Jones's layered keyboard work. The middle section slows down into a more atmospheric, moody piece, with Plant's vocals processed and mysterious. Then it builds back up into a triumphant, guitar-led finale. Many fans were divided on this track at the time, but listening back, it's incredibly ambitious and forward-thinking. It showed that even after a decade at the top, Led Zeppelin was still refusing to repeat themselves, still pushing their sound in new directions. Carousel Ambra is a complex, challenging, and ultimately rewarding piece of music that showcases the creative genius of John Paul Jones and the band's unceasing desire to explore. From the blues rock theatrics of How Many More Times to the prog rock symphony of Carousel Ambra, we've only just scratched the surface. There are so many more incredible deep cuts waiting to be discovered. The haunting No Quarter, the joyful romp of the Rover, the achingly beautiful Down by the Seaside. Exploring these tracks reveals a band of staggering musicality and boundless imagination. They weren't just a hard rock band. They were a blues band, a folk band, a funk band, a progressive band. They were all of it and more. Their hits are legendary for a reason, but their deep cuts are where the true magic and mystery of Led Zeppelin reside. So what are your favorite Zeppelin deep cuts? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear which tracks you think deserve more recognition. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the Zeppelin catalog. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next musical adventure. Until next time, keep listening.